What's up guys, it's Oblivious Gamer here with a review on a game that just came out for PC, and that game is QV. Before I continue, I want to thank the developer Izzle and publisher CFK for providing me with a code to review their game. Also, if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe. So QV is described as a puzzle platformer. Originally, it came out on the Switch last year, but now it's gonna come out for PC, and I have to say, I'm having a lot of fun with the game. The art style and characters are pretty cute and they look really good. The puzzles are not too hard, but at the same time they do require some thinking and taking your time. The music blends well since it's very chill. And overall, it has been a very fun experience, especially for someone who doesn't play too many puzzle games. This has been really fun. Now, for the plot, this game doesn't have a very complex or overarching plot. It is overall very simplistic. So you play as QB, which it's similar to the title, but no, her name is pronounced Q-U-B-Y. So the story takes place in a universe where dimensions are connected to each other. In the center of the passages lies the dimensional core, keeping the balance between dimensions. For some reason, this balance begins to collapse and the core stops working. Now, the gate doesn't let anyone into the dimensional core. However, there's a group of chosen ones who can access the core. And turns out, QB is apparently a descendant, or at least the last descendant of those chosen ones. So it's up to QB to restore the balance and try to fix the dimensional core. She will go exploring into long forgotten ruins of her ancestors, and through that she will find a way to reactivate the core. Through her adventure, she will meet a penguin named Varen who will help her out, and another character who looks very similar to QB. Also, the game has some interesting moments, like when QB literally murders a penguin. But in all honesty, there is some comedy here, and I like QB's attitude in many situations, so that was a bonus since having her interact with other characters can be a bit funny, though there are some weird dialogues that just seem a little bit off. Here's an example. Like, I think cringy is not the best way to describe this situation, so I was a little bit odd when they decided to use that word. As you can see, the artwork is really good. It's one of the things that attracted me to the game. I think it looks amazing. And then you have the chibi characters, which look pretty cute in their own way. And eventually you unlock like costumes, colors, and different hairstyles that you can add to QB and customize her. So when it comes to gameplay, QB has a brush which helps her draw portals, erase those portals, or erase like stones to create doors. Also in some maps there are ink, and with the brush you can like absorb the ink and then spray it, for example, on water, and that will create a pathway for you to run around. Controls are not very complex, with a button to spray, paint the portals, or erase the portals. There's also a checkpoint mechanic where you will find these orbs floating, and they work as like, as I said, checkpoints. So when you get close to them, it saves from that point. So when you reload, you don't have to start from the beginning. Though at times, if you mess up, and let's say you save the checkpoint at the point where you messed up, you will have to restart everything. So I would have appreciated also a button to just restart everything, because there are times where I would mess up and the checkpoint wasn't helping, so I had to manually restart everything. And I think it would have been convenient to just have press a button and then you just restart, instead of having to go into the menu and then going back to retry, wait for it to load. Another thing to note is you can play with both keyboard or controller. I played a bit with keyboard. I wasn't having a good time with the keyboard, so I switched to the controller, and that was like a much better experience, at least for me. The puzzles are not that hard. I played all the story in normal and then went back and did some in hard and in a mode called QV, which is supposed to be the hardest difficulty. Now, when you select the difficulty, you can only choose normal or hard. QV is unlocked once you finish the story mode, which is not too long. It took me like 6 hours to finish the story mode, and it will vary, of course, depending on how quickly you can finish the puzzles. But going back to do hard in QV will amount to a lot more hours of gameplay, so you will have a lot here to replay and put your time. A cool thing is, as you progress the puzzles, of course, they become harder, but they keep adding more mechanics, such as, for example, the addition of golems that will move when you extinguish like a fire, and then the addition of penguins that will follow you and attack you, so you have to be careful and pay attention to their moving patterns. Then finally, you will have a second character. At first is Varen, who doesn't add much, but later on you get the character that's similar to QB, and she possesses the same abilities as QB, so the puzzles become a lot more fun or harder to do since you have now two QBs and you can just switch simultaneously, so you have to work using those two characters to solve the puzzles. I would say in the end, this is a very fun and chill game. I'm not much of a puzzle gamer. I would say I'm average, and I found most of the puzzles not too hard, so for those expecting like extreme puzzles, you will be a bit disappointed. This is clearly a game for you to enjoy the puzzles, have a fun time, but not be overthinking and taking like an hour to solve the puzzles. There can be hard puzzles, but most of the time you will solve it pretty quickly. I think at most I spend like 12-13 minutes in one puzzle. In the end, I would say this is a very fun game. It is super chill and I had a great time playing. As I said in the previous video, I feel all the big games for March are coming out at the end, so playing this game was really refreshing because I didn't have anything new to play and I was itching to play a new game. So if you are curious and maybe you want to have a fun time solving puzzles or want to play a game with characters that have a cute design and a really nice artwork, I feel you should try this game. And also, if you are looking for like a hard puzzle game or a game with like a deep plot or substantial plot, then I don't know if this is the game for you. I feel you're not gonna have a good time. Since, as I said, the puzzles are challenging, but not to the extreme, and the plot is a little simplistic with, not a lot going. However, if you don't fall, in the category of the individual who wants like a complex plot or extreme puzzles, then I definitely recommend this game to try. QV is an amazing game and it's currently available on the Switch and coming out the 18th for PC. Now, at the time I made the video, which is the 18th at 1 in the morning, Steam wasn't showing me a price point for the game. But on the Nintendo store, for example, the game is $14.99, so I think the PC version will be around that price. Hell, even if it ends up like $19.99 or $24.99, this game is super worth it. It has a ton of hours of content for you to come back. Characters with very cute design and very amazing artwork and very nice music to go along as you play the game. So this game has a thumbs up from me. I really liked it. So what are your thoughts, guys? This has been Oblivious Gamer, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.